Proverbs 31 verse 10 says, "Who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is far above rubies." Hello friends, I'd like to welcome you to Meditaciones Hello, today is June 18th, 2021. In our Women's Devotional Brushstrokes of God's Love, today's title is called Tears Turning into Laughter. Psalm 30 verse 5 says, "Weeping may endure for a night, but joy comes in the morning." I remember a mother enveloped in a tremendous sadness. One of her sons had been arrested by the police, along with other teenagers for taking part in a robbery. His staying in a rehabilitation center for juvenile offenders devastated his mother, but in spite of this, she never stopped visiting her son, who had been booked by the authorities when he was barely 15 years old. Holding her head in her hands, she asked God, "Lord, what did I do wrong?" Her son had been dedicated to God 2 months after his birth, and he had been accepted as a cradle roll member in their local church, where he began his life with Jesus. When he became a teenager, he was persuaded by a group of friends to break the law. His mother had planted the seeds of good in her son's heart and lived anxiously waiting for them to give fruit, sometimes flooded by tears and sometimes with budding optimism. Whenever I met her, I always asked her the same question, "How is your son?" Her answer was always, "He is in God's hands." We are all in God's hands, mothers, children, grandchildren, spouses, etc. A mother according to God's heart does not stop praying for her children when one of them strays from the right path. She continues unconditionally loving the lost son. She keeps nourishing his physical, spiritual, and emotional strength by drinking of the everlasting fountain that springs from God's heart. She knows and trusts that He who has begun a good work in you will complete it until the day of Jesus Christ. You can find this in Philippians 1 verse 6. That morning, the church was at its finest. A baby would be dedicated to the Lord. I looked closely, trying to recognize the parents, and that was when I felt a warm touch on my shoulder and heard an excited little voice telling me, "That's my son." I looked at her in astonishment. That rebellious teenager was the beautiful baby's father, who was making the commitment to take him to Jesus' feet. If any of your loved ones have strayed from the path, it's all right for you to cry. But keep on trusting and crying out to the Lord. Today's weeping will turn into tomorrow's joy. We invite you to listen to Radio Joven Adventista at www.jovenadventista.com. And please share this devotional on your social media with hashtag Women's Devotional, hashtag Radio Joven Adventista, hashtag Meditaciones Diarias. We'd also like to invite you to download the Meditaciones Diarias app, available for both Android and Apple. Thank you so much for joining us, and I hope you have a blessed day. I'd like to say thank you for visiting us here at meditacionesdiarias.com. May you have a blessed day.